Hi guys, namaste, and I hope all of you are doing great. Thank you for tuning in back to my channel. I'm going to talk to you about Pitru Tarpanam. What is it all about? When you should be doing it? Why? And so on. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Prakash, and I maintain a channel where I provide my knowledge in Vedic astrology, which I've acquired for 14-15 years now. And I do provide paid consultations, audio-based consultations. If you're interested, the details is in the description section. I also provide dream interpretation as a free service. You can join the Facebook group if you like. Okay, so let's talk about what Pitru Tarpanam is all about. Why is it important to do, and why is it part of Jyotisha's remedial measure? It's one of the main or important remedial measure. First, what it is. Now, Pitru Tarpanam. Pitru, we break down the words first. Pitru means forefathers, literally. Tarpanam is to satiate or to feed or to nourish. Okay. Now, Sanskrit being ancient and cryptic, it's difficult to understand what it really means. The problem lies is when we read the word as is, like the word Pitru means forefathers. So many people are confused that you should be only doing for your fathers, departed fathers and so on, or your forefathers. But as I said, it's ancient and it's very cryptic. It has the connotations is it's broad. It's broad, and depending to the context, there's just so many things we can talk about with just one word. In English means a book is a book, right? But in Sanskrit it can go on as knowledge and so on and so forth. It's the connotations can be very I would say sometimes it can be even confusing. So it depends to the context that you're reading. So Pitru in this context means ancestors, which includes all from our grandfather onwards, grandmother, whoever, uncles, aunt, whoever who has departed from our lineage, from our ancestors, they are is what referred as Pitru here, the ancestors, not just our fathers but our ancestors. And of course we can talk a lot about these different types of Pitrus and stuff, but let's just move on here. Tarpanam is to feed, to nourish, to satiate. Okay, so essentially it means to give food to our ancestors, but what it really means is a spiritual sustenance. Okay, so now upon departing the physical body, so there are 5 different layers of body, 5 different sheaths or coverings for a body. You can read about it if you're interested. It's called the Pancha Kosha if you're interested. So when the body leaves this physical body here, when the spirit, when the Atma leaves this body, it needs to go through a journey, a spiritual journey to its next realm of existence. The spirits do have different realms. So to do that, to commute, they will require some kind of a sustenance, some food to nourish, which is where Tarpanam comes in. And it is only done, or the food will only be received to them if it's done by their ancestors. By their descendants. Okay, so it's our responsibility and obligation to perform those, to provide them with food, okay, quote unquote food. So this is where Tarpanam comes in, right? So when do you do this? You do this on the Pitru Paksha. Mainly you do it on the Pitru Paksha. Pitru Paksha is a time frame during the Bhadrapada month, or Puratasi Masam in Tamil, but in Sanskrit and of course in many of the other Indian languages, it's called Bhadrapada month. Okay, it's from mid-September to mid-October. This is the time for us to perform these rites and to provide food for them. Now, now that you know why, because it's important, right? If you don't provide the food, then they cannot proceed to the next realm of existence, right? The transition would be halted. So it is our duty to do it. When do you do this? Is during Pitru Paksha. Now the rite or the according to the liturgical books of Vedas, the perfect time to do this is specifically on the Tithi of the person who has departed. For example, my mother passed on last year. This video has been taken on 2019. She passed on September 18, 2018, which means her Tithi will be on October 7th, 2019, which is coming up very soon. That is on that day, the Tithi has to be done, all right? What we call a Shraddha Karyam, okay? So, and every year from then, I have to just keep track of when is the next Tithi. The Tithi is the lunar phase or the shape of the moon on the person's death. That is the right or the perfect day to perform this Pitru Tarpanams, okay? But if you can't do it, then this Pitru Paksha, this 1 month period is the best. Okay, you can choose any of the days, especially if it falls on the Amavasya or the new moon, okay? So these are the days that you can choose. So remember, the Tithi is the perfect time. Second is the Pitru Paksha, the 1 month period, anytime. If possible, on the Amavasya or the new moon. It's also written in the scriptures that you can even do it daily if you want. Like you can just have some water and black sesame seeds inside and you recite certain shlokas. But it's best to do it in a temple where it's elaborate and more effective, I would say, quote unquote effective. So now that you know when you have to do it, why you have to do it, and there are things apart from your obligation. For some people, they have this Pitru dosha. What does it mean? Pitru dosha means when you are constantly having like ailments and your family is not having good relationships, or in terms of financial problems, there's always some problems at home, fights, quarrelings, unhappiness, debts, enemies and all that. That is one of the reasons why the Pitru Paksha is, the Pitru dosha occurs. It's trying to tell you that one of your forefathers or your ancestors is unhappy and he or she is unable to go to the next realm, right? So only upon doing that, only upon doing Tarpanam, then you are actually giving them food or sustenance to move on, right? And when they get that opportunity to move on, they will bless you. As such, every other things will happen in your life. You may not have that problems anymore, from family problems to kids. If you have kids at home, then kids, they normally fall sick and all that. You won't have all that problems anymore. It will be elevated and removed. So remember, Pitru dosha is when your obligation, you have never done, or you are not doing it. You're missing those times for you to do it. So don't do. Upon not doing it, you will have all these problems. The other thing is, sometimes, and since I do dream interpretations, I notice that in your dreams you may have your ancestors, your loved ones coming in your dreams and telling that they need food to eat. Okay, literally food. They'll ask for food or clothing. Now, if you have that, then that's another sign that they are waiting for you to give food, the sustenance which is required. Now, if they come to you directly, which means it's a gift, they are asking you personally, all right, that they need your help. Now, if you do Tarpanam for them, okay, then all the blessings and graces you will be showered on you. As such, a lot of good things will happen to you personally. So remember, that's a Pitru dosha. Okay, so yeah, we've covered what it is, when you should be doing it, why, and also when you have these Pitru doshas, what is your obligation towards it. Okay, so what else? So yeah, that's about it. And this is also one of the remedies in Vedic astrology which I normally prescribe for some of my clients who do have this sort of problems. Okay, for especially quarrels and constant debt, children's falling sick, and also I totally forgot, I need to mention that you may also feel some unusual presence sometimes, things which are unexplainable. Sometimes you can feel, sometimes you can see, sometimes you can even hear it. So that's also another indication that your forefathers or your ancestors are trying to communicate to you and telling you that they require sustenance. Okay, so okay friends, I hope this video will be beneficial for you. If you have any comments, or if you're not sure about what I've said, just put it in the comment section, and I'll reply to you as soon as possible. Thanks guys, take care, namaste.